SpongeBob SquarePants, Cosmic Shake. Developed by Purple Lamp, published by THQ Nordic. It's a 3D action platformer set in the SpongeBob universe. SpongeBob sets out on an adventure to find and save his friends after the aptly named Cosmic Shake. The setup references familiar tropes seen in other platformers and action collectors. A central villain vies to help set the world right again, but all you need to do is collect all the jelly. The villain in this particular story wasn't really featured a whole lot and doesn't feel very well fleshed out, though they do appear in some of the levels as you go. The game also features some of your SpongeBob favorites. I know I saw ones I just could not miss and was really happy that they were in. But outside of a few cutscene and dialogue sequences, there really isn't much forced interaction with them. Maybe a couple of side quests here and there, but not much other than that. This 3D action platformer has a stronger emphasis on its platforming roots via its many traversal abilities. Jumping. A double jump is standard. Big win there for me. Gliding. Karate kicks, which can be used for both combat and traversal. And seahorses? Combat abilities are basic and repetitive throughout, with a spin attack, a dodge, and bubble shooting. All used pretty much over and over in every combat sequence, rinse and repeat. Early in the game, it becomes apparent that you'll have to chain abilities together as you get them. As they're introduced, there is a slight learning curve, especially with the swinging and air glide portals. Man, did I fail those over and over again. Luckily, the checkpoints in most areas are pretty well done. While platforming feels solid through most instances, there are times when the control scheme, both on keyboard and mouse, and even the little bit that I played on controller, feel a little bit rough. After enough repetition, most obstacles are easily surpassed. It wasn't until mid to late game where some sequences had me yelling expletives at the monitor. Overused platforming gimmicks and silly boss mechanics aside, the game has some really fun moments. The dialogue is on point, and the animations are wonderfully crafted. Environments feel appropriate for the story, but the game is mostly linear in scope. There are instances where side quests are presented, but I began to bypass them as they became another rung on the never-ending collectathon ladder attached to King Neptune's trident. Along the way, we were also graced with some mini-games. Some mini-games grant access to new areas of a level or give you a coveted golden doubloon. Speaking of those doubloons, you can get them in conjunction with the pink jelly you collect, not the blue jelly that you're clearing. Did I mention that that was the goal? Because I didn't realize that until about 3/4 of the way through the game. Much like the minigames, the costumes are interesting at first glance, but didn't really make a lasting impact due to each level having its own costume theme. Now, I was given a nice little code with this review from the publisher that included a bunch of costumes, and I did see a whole gamut of them and thought they were great, but felt like they didn't really do much for the gameplay, so I stuck with the ones that were for that level. To be fair, I only started using currency near the end of the game because I was finally, at that time, able to rub enough of those precious doubloons together to get some more silly costumes in conjunction with using my lovely pink supply of jelly. I hoarded that almost the entire game, it felt like. Overall, I genuinely enjoyed the 8 or so hours with SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. I recommend those keen on platformers or just fans of the SpongeBob lore give it a shake for themselves. SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake is available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, and Xbox One for $39.99 on January 31st, 2023.